Hello everybody, we're back for more Kubera, this time being recorded the day it's being uploaded, which has been a common occurrence recently, but this time it's not because of a lack of time from me, it's because I was originally planning to stream today. Yeah, I haven't streamed in a little while, so I was hoping I could, but unfortunately, last minute changes, which happened last week I think, or the week before, or something like that, and now I can't stream Kubera this week, which is a shame because I really wanted to, because we haven't streamed in a while and I'd like to actually, you know, get back to streaming, but I've been a little busy recently. Life has been a little bit more important, as it were, so alas, no streams, but I'll try and get back to them as soon as I can. Hopefully next Monday I can do a Tower of God stream. This upcoming Monday, I should say, not next Monday, but yeah, 2 days time from now, as of this. No, 3 days time as of this being uploaded. Because obviously I missed Tower of God this Monday as well, because I was busy, which is why it's being uploaded tomorrow. It'll be uploaded on Saturday, and if you remember, you can actually already watch it, which is why this won't be available for members early. Well, it will, like a couple hours, but nonetheless, I've been yapping for a minute. Let's just jump into Kubera. This is probably gonna have to be a bit of a short one as well. I apologize. I know the video's been a bit naff recently, length, and really my commentary-wise as well. But hey, here we are. That's if you watch all my content and not just the Kubera stuff. I think Kubera's the my better videos because I actually talk about what's going on as opposed to just reading them.
All the holes were made more or less the same size until now. Why did it get bigger like that all of a sudden? Nothing changed except for the shortened distance. Does the attack range increase proportionally to the traveled distance? These sticks are too fragile for me to exert any serious power. Just how effective would this technique be through that spear? I've already seen the kind of damage it can do without any technique. Darn it, the hole must have been too big. The man will collapse!
These just fucking terraform the planet. Season 3, episode 352, The Snake King 14. Color Bloom Temple of Chaos. Restoration in process by the creation brand Brimo.
The exterior is almost done, but the real headache is the interior. I heard each pillar had a unique design. Search the library archive for more information. I'm sure you can find some documents written by some scholars who had nothing better to do. Forget modern style, everyone. Don't be lazy. Reproduce the original appearance as best as you can. We don't need any complaints.
Mr. President, I think you should see this. Do you see that? A collapsing man was caught on camera near the Chaos Barrier. In slow motion, you can see the massive hole forming in the base, leading to the collapse. The only times we've seen holes as big as this is when Mr. Kazak uses his breath in Sora form. Jesus fucking Christ, Lise is... Okay, Lise. Alright. Damn. That... Oh my lord. Alright. But... he was nowhere to be seen this time.
Well, there's one more beside Kazak. Kazak... whatever his name is.
You mean Takasaka?
He helped us a lot in transporting survivors from Atera. The least you could do is call him by the right name. Anyway, who knows what he's up to? But there's a high chance that he's behind this. Honestly, he is a bit suspicious. Nobody knows his whereabouts. Last I heard, Asura kidnapped the summoners and Taksaka went after them to save them. Huh? According to what I heard, Taksaka abducted the summoners who sided with Asura. Well, I heard they were they were allies all along.
Huh? I don't know about that. I mean, Mr. Kazak's father. He's Mr. Kazak's father, you know?
You think that's a little too far-fetched? It messes with everyone saying different things. It's all hearsay from people who don't know the truth. That's right, we can't trust anyone we hear. We might have to question our oracles at this point. Those opposing Ananta's resurrection, and those supporting it. Both sides have prestigious gods and notorious Sura backing them. All our lives we've been taught that gods were righteous and Sura wicked. It's only natural for us to feel lost and confused. But first things first, we should make a stand on the resurrection so we can determine who our enemies are. What do you say? My stance has always been the same. My allies, whichever side is protecting the city in which protects the city I live in. Regardless of whether they're gods or Syrah, I always trust myself the most. Well, I couldn't agree more in that sense. The summoners were taken by Asura. The summoners taken by Asura remain unharmed. He could be protecting them, for all we know. We shouldn't judge him by his reputation as we know it. This isn't about good or evil. It's about whether someone agrees or disagrees with Ananta's resurrection. So, gods could become our enemies, or Syrah our allies? What's this, a gathering of non-believers? You'll all meet in hell for blasphemy at this rate. Don't worry, I'll be joining you.
Well, we know blasphemy is not real. Chandra even admitted it himself.
Well, everything worked out for you. Since God Indra vouched for your identity, no one will question your half-status anymore. I mean, nothing's impossible these days, when we see gods joining hands with Nastika. My point is, you won't have to worry about getting booted from the city, Chloe. As long as you continue to keep out of trouble, that is. I should have come up with some other name. It's awkward to be called by my dead sibling's name. Anyway, let's safely deliver Kubera's items and the resurrection will begin soon.
Apologies. I woke up 20 minutes ago. It's typical, you know, animosity stuff. I think my camera is a little... That looks better. It's typical animosity stuff, you know? Recording just after waking up. Not warming up my voice at all, and just going for it. For somebody that wants to be a voice actor, you think I'd be more professional with it.
And depending on the outcome, the universe as a whole could be in danger. But I don't see why this city alone would be at risk. The planet is packed with Astika and Nastika confronting each other. Whenever I return to my side, or not, won't make a difference. Plus, I've already completed my mission. Maybe I should stay here and take it easy until the resurrection ritual ends. What was that just now? Am I feeling more comfortable being here? Hey, Claude, get it together! Claude is gonna get worried. Well, I'm just being reasonable. Things would get ugly if I end up running into an adversary Nastika outside the city. Yep, that's all. It's not because I feel more comfortable here. You zoning out? You still worried? You'll be fine, I'm telling you. Or did the half discrimination give you a hard time behind the half discriminators give you a hard time behind my back? Are they bullying you at the Fighters Academy because you're new? No, not really. Good. Then stop spacing out and help them move the release supplies. You're the strongest. I'm gonna have to go and scout that mountain area to see what happened there. You're going outside the city? No, it's too dangerous.
Still can't write fast.
You're trying to follow me again, aren't you? Come on, stay around and help around. There's payback for my free endorsement and lodging. Deal?
Thing is, interestingly here, she almost responds to what he says here, despite speaking it, not writing it.
He did it again. This half, he seldom speaks in Syrian language without noticing it himself. Although it's rare, there are halves out there who can speak the Syrian language. But what I heard him say that day... it's probably too late already. That sure doesn't sound like something coming from an ordinary half. You've created a mess here. Your dad was also a master of short and distance, but he never combined it with any weapon. He wasn't too fond of wielding weapons. He always preferred fighting with his bare hands. Then what about the neutral bow? Well, hardly anyone knows who the owner is. So obviously Vaio gave it to him after he got summoned to court. Vaio realized the death of his summoner was imminent, so he decided to give the bow to your father, along with the responsibility to save the transport ship in the face of danger. I don't think so. Don't try to shift the blame on God Vayu. It's your fault that the summoner died before the transport ship could land. So in the end, that ties in with what my father had to go through. What did he have to go through? You said it yourself 7 years ago. Guess what? I killed your dad. I meant to say that. In the end, I was responsible for his death. That doesn't mean I actually killed him myself. Can't you read between the lines? You know, I'm sick of your games. So why don't you quit it and just tell me the truth, huh? Would you believe me if I did? I'll think about that later, so go ahead and try me. You know, I come from cards, right? My planet was on the verge of destruction, and my situation wasn't any better. That's when one of the primeval gods showed up, and offered me a chance to escape. It was a deal, so I paid for it with something that I didn't have then, but might have in the future. I had no idea what I was giving up, until I lost it. It's common for other people, but you currently don't have any. Nonetheless, you could have one in the future. A family. I lost my benefactor who had promised to become my family, and only then I understood what I had offered in exchange. It was too late, but I fell into despair. The choice I made was far from rational. Having made the deal to sacrifice my family, I became someone who always chose the path that leads to the loss of my family. No matter how I look at protecting it, Ra was the only right choice. There's no way I would have made any other choice in my right mind. She's doing it again. As soon as he finds her victim, she dumps all the blame on them and walks away.
I mean, yeah, she is. But also, subsequently, it is also, Vishnu's, fault, technically. But, yes, it is also Asha's fault knowing what she's sacrificing. But, yeah, no, Asha, please get a grip. Please stop victim blaming, actually. It's not a good look.
That's her. That's Asha. Alright, let's just say your choice was influenced by the deal you made in the past. But tell me, were you sacrificing so many lives to possess Ananta? So you can avenge that primeval god who talked you into the deal? That would be nice. But I don't think I could go that far. Primeval gods are infinite beings who transcend the fate of this universe. Whereas Ananta, no matter how all-powerful, he is a mere creation who met their fate in D500. Avenging that primeval god will be impossible, with or without Ananta's power. Then why? Why are you pushing this so far as to obtain that power? So I could get the privilege to rewind time. I'm going to travel back in time and erase this doomed possibility, so I can reclaim the reality that was meant to be mine.
I mean, that's kind of what I expected you were going to do, but sweet Jesus, Asha. Do you have any idea about what that could inflict upon the rest of the world? On the rest of reality? Like, really? Delicious hydration.
Ananta's power allows you to go back in time? That's right. And how do you know that? I read about it in the records. I didn't waste my time just fooling around while I was erased by the Holy Vishnu penalty. You know about the records by now, right?
I wonder why the spell has that penalty. Like, obviously that penalty wouldn't have been a thing before Vishnu's disappearance, when Hoti Vishnu magic was very prevalent. Presumably it's because Vishnu's not around, so there's no, well, not around. So there's no, like, I don't know, binding force or whatever that's allowing the magic to function properly. And so the resurrection that's occurring and the magical forces that are required for the resurrection to occur are then having a equal and opposite reaction that isn't being circumvented by the gods. Well, by Vishnu specifically, which is why they get erased. I assume that's the reason. And erased. Temporarily, so.
Yeah, I never got to read any, but I heard about them. You never read any of them. It's a long scroll of paper. You really didn't see it. Oh, that. I did catch a glimpse of long white paper from afar. But it disappeared right away. And that was the last of it. So that's what that paper was. Why? Why did they show me so much but not Lee's? Anyway, so you're telling me that you got sent to this place as a penalty? Read these so-called records, and came to learn about Ananta's power to manipulate time? In other words, you didn't know about it until then? So you started murdering people, but long before you had a reason to. Is that it? That doesn't make any sense, does it? Back when you used to kill and revive all those Kubera to practice your magic, you didn't do that to go back in time. Rather, you were probably just hungry for power itself, or wanted to become strong enough to take your revenge. Then, once you learned about the power to rewind time, you decided to use that to justify your actions. To reverse the death of your benefactor. You must have been a perfect excuse to chip away at your guilt. You know, I might have bought it 7 years ago. But I'm just too sick of your ways now. It's getting really old, Asha. 7 years ago when I saw you as a grown-up friend whom I could depend on. But now, you just seem like an immature little girl. Well, that's the exact opposite of what I see in you.
Season 3, episode 353, The Snake King 15. What does she mean by that?
I was supposed to die in N13. I'm simply alive because of the Hoti Vishnu penalty that made me jump through time twice. So, it's only natural that you feel like I'm younger than you. Because literally, I've only lived until N13. Asha was born in D966. 996, not 66, Jesus Christ. That'd make her a hell of a lot older. If she was to die in N13, does that make her about 17 years old? If so, then she's just as young as me 7 years ago. I guess her heightened knowledge of things made her seem mature. You really were a little girl. Setting aside those years when Asha went missing, she lived from D996 to N12, and several more months between N15 and N16. Then she reappeared in N20, and lived for another month or so. She must have burned through most of her allocated 17-year lifespan by now. I doubt she has any more to spare for a later time. Her death is just as imminent as mine. She must be determined to use Ananta's resurrection to see her goal through to the end. Do you know what it means to turn back time? The destruction of possibility. Everything here will—
Oh wait, no, this is Lee's.
Everything here will become a possibility, while the new history to be written becomes the new reality. But Asha, this world right now is our reality now. Rewinding time is the same as destroying the current universe and creating a new one. It'll all be worth it in the end if a better universe can be created. And who will be the judge of that? You? It doesn't matter who, because no universe can possibly satisfy everyone. But at least the universe will be a better place to live. You know why? Because I'll keep rewinding until it is. So you're willing to decimate countless universes into mere possibilities? All for your ideal universe. No one in any of those perishing possibilities would think that's the right thing to do. So, they're just possibilities. Nothing more, nothing less.
And unfortunately, I do think I kind of have to agree with Asha there. At the end of the day, yes, so I see the logic of, yes, you are, you know, what's the word? Why am I blanking on the word? It's not even a complicated word. You're forsaking all those other universes to utter oblivion, right? But at the end of the day, they effectively never existed. I mean, yes, they did to you, but to literally everybody else, and I mean, I guess the gods as well, I suppose. Well, the primeval ones, they'd be aware, right? But again, the greater good, maybe, if you can push that argument, but more than likely, Asha's not doing this for the greater good. She's doing this for her own selfish, you know, means, which is why this argument doesn't hold up in Asha's case. If it were anybody else making the argument that, you know, they're just possibilities, I'm doing this for the sake of the reality that's going to stick around, and, you know, the reality that's going to be real, and the people that are going to actually be there when I'm done, then it'd be fine. But Asha making this, she's not doing it for the universe, she's doing it for herself.
None of them will be real once a new history begins. So why even care? You two said the same thing. You said I was the weird one. I don't think I can talk her out of it. Lise, what are you doing there? That mountain. Did you do that?
Party guild members capable of magic moved to here.
Yes, I did that. Huh. Think straight, Taya. I know you're listening to God Agni, but his summoner was kidnapped by Asura. You shouldn't blindly trust every word he says at a time like this. I already told you all about how impossible she's been during the training period. You can't remember. I even insisted against this private teaching because but you just had to go with it. Can you tell me how you did that? The triple step technique can't do that kind of damage. I don't know how to explain it, but I took those 3 steps using shortened distance, and that's what I got. You can use shortened distance? Yeah, sure, you can't possibly... You know, I really don't get why you keep expressing outright dislike toward me. For your peace of mind, I'm not interested in my father's inheritance, so you don't really have to be like that. Yeah, didn't you make it sound like that's your right? Anna passed away in N5, yet you keep spewing nonsense that you live with her until I'm 15. So who's to say that you would take advantage of Rao's name, huh? That's on me. You're right. I was mistaken. My mother did pass away in N5. I was in denial because the truth was too hard to accept. If that's what made you angry, then I apologize.
Why is she picking on her anyway?
Inheritance? My else. But I must ask, how are you so sure about when my mother passed away? Did you perhaps witness her death? Or confirm her body? If so, then, please tell me. What happened to my mother in N5? Who killed her? Was it Asura? If so, then which one? Why are you asking me? You just said yourself that she died! I fainted at that moment, so I didn't see anything. I didn't get to confirm anything. But you know something, don't you? Otherwise, how could you be so sure about her death? Clary doesn't know the details either. We heard about Anna's lifespan, that's all. That's how we know. Her lifespan? There was a magician who claimed to have met Anna in N5. Right, when no one knew where she was.
Oh, that seems dodgy as all fuck. And you're gonna believe that? You met a magician who claims to have met them, who told you that was her remaining lifespan, and that is all you're going off of. You're going off of word of mouth of somebody you can't even prove the word of. Alright. Okay.
I don't know if I should be giving out names, but it's Claude, right? Huh? You knew? I think I need to have a word with Claude. When we met in the past, I had no idea about our encounter during my time travel from N23 to N25. But he must have known. Perhaps as soon as he saw my grown-up self. Or when he noticed you to third stage development. Or maybe he just knew all along. Either way, he must have known that the future me and Yuta would end up going back in time. But for some reason, he never mentioned anything about M5. He probably figured out I knew nothing about it and chose to keep it to himself. Maybe I could find out more if I meet him now.
Unfortunately, it's too late for that. He might still be Claude, but his memories are all a bit in tatters.
But he's in Rinhallow. I don't think you can see him now. There are no transport ships departing anytime soon. It'll take some time to find teleportation magicians. Don't worry, I'll find a way. Let me look for God Agni. If anything, I can just run. Oh, before I leave, could you heal me once? I could do that. How about we go together? You're gonna see my brother, right? I have something to tell him too. Let me come with you. What are you saying? Misteo? Let's face it, Caliban doesn't need me right now. I've been pushed aside since I lost my memory. Thanks to some drama I can't even remember, I've been barred from all essential facilities. And now I'm a priestess who can't enter the temple, and a guild leader who can't step into her guild. Besides, I also need to talk to Claude. Wouldn't this be the perfect occasion to go see him? There's nothing for me to do here anyway. But you hate Irie's guts. At least put your own team together if you must go. I'll try to manage. The letter from Claude I found tucked away in my pile of 7 years of Holy Vishnu research. And all those letters I seem to have addressed to Irie. Those siblings definitely know why I ended up like this. 7 years ago, I had a front view seat to the whole resurrection ritual. Why did it have to be in the Antarctic this time? That's like the opposite end. I can't see why I can't see a thing from here. It's no fun. By the way, are you just going to stay here? Like I said, the resurrection takes place in the south. That's where all the strong ones are gathered. What's keeping you here anyway? The city has nothing that could interest you.
I think it's you that could possibly interest him, Claude. More than likely. Right, we'll do one more, just so it's not a turbo short reaction. I feel like we've got to at least put some effort into these videos. Although we are getting close to the catching up. But again, I do want to catch up sometime this, fucking millennium. And if I only do 2 chapters a week, that's not going to happen. I got weaker.
Well, you're in the human realm, so I bet you did.
So I thought I could finally go all out and still not kill him.
Him?
We made some sort of contract before he came here, so he didn't get weaker like I did. I thought I could finally take him on, without having to go easy on him. But he's just too busy!
So he won't make time for you?
No.
Then, why don't you help him with what's keeping him busy, so you can finish and make time for you?
It's not just something we can just rush through.
Ah, that's unfortunate. But then, what does that have to do with you staying here, if I may ask?
My nest got flooded.
I see, but that doesn't mean you have to stay here. Seriously.
Season 3, episode 354, The Snake King, 16.
Hey, it's been a while. The last I saw you was near a plateau during the prison break incident. So, where have you been all this time? I was in the Sura realm. A friend of mine was in trouble there, so...
Sura realm? You mean the Sura realm that fell and turned into a vast ocean?
Well, I went there before things came to that. But all that happened a while back. So, when were you after that? Just here and there with my friend. Let me guess, you've been in hiding and you can't say who helped you, right? That's right. Is your friend safe? Yeah.
Is this friend of yours... is Sura, I suppose?
I mean, she spent 7 years in the Sura realm. That's long enough to make some Sura friends. Anyway, we'd like to make something clear about Ananta's resurrection. Whether you have Sura friends or not. That should never happen. That power will destroy the world, not save it. That's why God Agni is against it. God Indra is the one wrong on this. You shouldn't trust what he says. Do I have to remind you? Indra is known as the king of the gods, and he has tons of followers who believe in him. So did Agni in the past, but not so much since the downfall of Atera. You know how religious magicians can be. Criticizing Indra in front of them will only make them your enemy. Still, I have to convince them. We're talking about the power that could destroy a universe countless times. If the people around me are misled to believe in the resurrection of such power, I should start with them. Well, good luck then. Honestly, I'm not too fond of that resurrection either. I mean, look at what the Anantas did to Atera. Trying to make the resurrection possible. I think that proves they're no better than humans. No better to humans than the Taraka are.
How else do you suggest we deal with the Taraka? Oh, that wasn't the other guy. That was, yeah, fair.
Teo. That's her name. Don't know why I blanked on it. Yeah, I'm nasally. To be fair, it's probably a good thing that I didn't record this any earlier, and I'm recording it today, because I've just gotten over a cold. If you watch the Tarragon video tomorrow, you'll possibly hear it in my voice. Or if you watched some of the other videos earlier in the week, you'll probably hear it. Although I say that, the ORV was recorded in advance, the Wednesday video was recorded in advance, Blue Lock wasn't, so you might hear it in my voice in the Blue Lock video. But yeah, anyway. Lisa's got a very large uphill battle, doesn't she? Like, realistically speaking, she is completely buggered. Like, really, let's be honest. Try to convince most people to not support Indra. Like, it's kind of crazy how Indra has so much clout. Because he is just such an asshole to everybody that actually interacts with him. They're expected to become overwhelmingly powerful, and we've been told that Ananta is the only one who can stop them from destroying the world. What happened to Atera is very unfortunate, but sometimes we must let go when greater things are at stake. Don't you think you're making light of what happened in Atera? Is it because it wasn't your city? Are you able to let go and accept the Sura that was responsible for all those deaths in Calabloom 7 years ago? That's enough, folks! I didn't bring up the subject to hear your thoughts on it. I simply wanted to ask you to not speak of it during your stay. The city is far from the south region where Ananta's resurrection is said to take place, and we don't have any of those so-called vessel candidates. And unlike those other cities, no god is currently summoned in Rin Hollow, so we don't have to be on our toes all the time. So, let's not do anything to draw attention. It's nice and peaceful here.
In other words, don't stir the pot unless, of course, some higher beings want us involved. But that's another story.
Yeah. Apologies.
But for now, we should keep things the way they are, because for some reason, none of the gods on Astika are approaching the city. Not even God Indra or Agni.
I wonder why. Well, he really makes me antsy. Serve him lots of beef jerky, and remember, no one has to know he's staying here.
Leave it to me. Leave all that to me and hurry. Everyone's been waiting for you.
By the way, Granny, I wish you'd address me as casually when others are around.
As priest candidate. A priestess candidate being casual with the priest. That can't be allowed, especially in public. Status comes before age. I'm only speaking as your granny because we're in private.
But Agua and Natasha talk to Brilith like that regardless.
Well, that's just them being rude. Oh, today you have visitors from another city. So you should behave more like a priest and stop using words like antsy.
Visitors? Mr. Claude! Hey, Lise! How have you been? No. Oh, no. Well, that can wait. I have to talk to you about... Did you give her those letters I asked you to? Oh, not yet. And I just got here, sort of. Plus, it's been a while, so I assumed you would have reached out to her by now. Writing the same letters all over again isn't fun, you know? But why does it have to be in writing? She's here, so just tell directly. We came together. I guess you won't understand the point of confession letters. Anyway, I know you've been hiding a lot of things from me. That's because my memory isn't all there. I told you already. Year-end 5. Does that ring a bell? Nope, not at all. Well, that memory excuse isn't gonna cut it. But it turns out there's quite a bit you've been keeping from me. About Taya, for instance. You said she was a bit injured, but she told me her injuries were near fatal. How's that the same? Huh? I'm not sure what you're getting at. My point is, you made it sound like it was nothing serious when she nearly died. Oh, in that sense. I mean, serious or not, what difference does it make? One hoodie aspens is all it takes to heal her either way. So unless it's fatal, it's all the same. Should I help you get a bit injured so you can tell the difference? Alright, so you want to know, Teo? What you want to know, Teo, is how you lost 7 years of memory, and if that has anything to do with the DNR list. Right. One Hodiasphinx was all it took to heal me a month ago. I don't know about Hodivishnu, but Hodiasphinx shouldn't cause any memory loss. The doctor attributed my memory loss to other psychological factors, but it's too much of a coincidence that my memory was set back to the day of my resurrection 7 years ago. And oddly enough, my room had piles of Hodivishnu documents I seem to have collected during those years, and letters that you sent me, Claude. It looked like you'd sent me more than just a few letters insisting that I put my name on the DNR list. I even found some of my letters. All of them incomplete and addressed to Irie for some reason. I see. So she made sure you'd find them easily. I guess the other Teo couldn't really make up her mind. I mean, all those indications, she obviously struggled to let the world know of her existence. When she should have owned her decision and vanished without a trace. The other Teo? Signs of struggle? What do you mean? You really should watch what you say, brother. What? It wasn't so bad. Fine, I'm sorry. Now, before I begin, everyone here knows about the Hodivishnu myth, right? Yeah, I do. How could I not, after reading all those documents sitting in my room? According to the myth, I'm not the original Teo Rakan, but just a random soul that's been dragged into this body by Hodivishnu. Well... Anyway, after you learned about this myth, has anybody ever wondered about the following scenario? A serial killer died in an accident while planning the next murder, and their soul departed to the underworld. But someone cast Hodivishnu on their body, resurrecting an innocent soul within it. That soul, influenced by the killer's memories and habits engraved in their brain, carried out the planned murder, and continued to kill many more until they finally died and returned to the underworld. Now, let's think. The serial killer's soul deserves hell. I think we can all agree on that. But what about the innocent soul? Given God Yama's reputation for fairness, how do you think he judged this soul? I'm here. I brought you different types of beef jerky for you to try. They're all favorite brands. I'll bring you more of the one you like. He could have told me he didn't like them.
What the fuck? Ah. Hey, you. What are you doing looking in the dark?
Hiding, obviously.
Hello, Hera. Oh, it's been a while. Oh, it's been a while, Hera. How I've missed you. Right. Well, that's gonna be a fun little thing next time. Oh, look at her. I fucking love her. She's one of my favorite. She's by far and away one of my favorite characters. She's just unbelievably fun. But anyway, nonetheless, I hope you all enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, sub, notification bell, usual YouTube stuff. Turn to 1,000 subs by the end of the day, so you can give me a salt and help me achieve that. Would be absolutely fantastic. But without the way, I'm gonna see even you. And now it's time for another video. Ta-ta. Bye now.